Morning, everyone. It's Wednesday morning at 8:45, and this is your pre-opening comment. It's video 396, and as always, I remind you we'd really appreciate if you'd subscribe to the YouTube channel. Okay, so Asia and Europe are both lower. There's a lot of talk about nervousness ahead of Fed Chair Powell's speech tomorrow morning at their gathering. This is out in Sun Valley, Idaho, and it's a pretty big meeting. It will be virtual this year, but that doesn't change that Chair Powell will start with a speech tomorrow morning. We had durable goods orders this morning, and frankly, they were surprisingly good. This is July, and I warn everyone, it is preliminary. It will be adjusted several times before you get a final number, but durable goods orders for July were up 2.5 times what was expected. They came in at up 11.2, and expectations were up 4.8. The number X defense was up 9.9%, which was also a beat. Capital spending was up 1.9. That was a beat, and shipments ex transportation were up 1.9, were expected up 1.9, and actually came in at 2.4. So good numbers across the board. The downside of that is that it pushes interest rates up, and it doesn't necessarily trickle down as well as one might think. Okay, this morning's news, excuse me, we have a new high price objective on Tesla from Jefferies, and that price objective is 2,500. So there you go. We had the Teva news on price fixing, the stock which traded down as low as 903 yesterday. This is actually, just a replay of news that we started getting last Thursday. Last Thursday, the stock came down to about just under 10 from almost 11, and it followed on Monday with a little bit of stability. Yesterday, it was down to 903, but rallied all the way back up to 950 at the close, and this morning is trading around 935, which is looks like it's down about 20 cents, but it was 908 last night, so that's a little better. And the bloom is off the rose a little on the cruise lines, who were all rainbows and lollipops on Monday with their moves of 8 to 10% apiece, when CCL, Carnival Cruise Line, came out and said that they are canceling their early 2021 cruises on their Princess line on several ships because of COVID. On the earnings front last night, we had Nordstrom with a 53% decrease in sales. The stock is lower. Bed Bath & Beyond laying off 2,800 workers on a restructuring of their stores. We had Toll Brothers with a major beat, and CRM, Salesforce, major beat, newest Dow stock, trading up 31 and change this morning on their earnings beat and their guidance. The storms, or the other storm in the Gulf, is intensifying. It looks to be the worst storm in 15 years. Looks like it'll come ashore somewhere between Galveston and Louisiana. Oil is actually down a little this morning after being up yesterday, but we have plenty in storage, but we have a lot cut down. Also, nat gas continues to rise a bit. I heard yesterday Jeff Kilberg, who is a futures trader in Chicago, talking about the Baker Hughes um, drilling platform numbers, and the nat gas drilling has gone from 169 rigs to 69 rigs. So there could be a bit of a shortage in that area because production is so much lower. Okay, so the chart on the screen is the dollar. And again, I'm pointing out we are really trying to bottom here. And I'm going to make this a little larger so you can see it a little bit better. We have the 5 and 20, the 5 about to cross through the 20 to the upside. We have this nice little consolidation here. We would obviously have to break this high at 93.89 and change, and of course that would be before this one at 93.98. So a move through 94, or actually even a close. I believe this is the highest close. Nope. This is the highest close at 93.64, so 93.65. So we're not that far from that. That would be pretty impressive. The only problem with this is that it's difficult to trade this. There is an ETF. The symbol, I believe, is UUP, but it's very slow moving. And so it's not as good. I would suggest possibly looking at the 30-year, the long bond here, and it's down this morning just short of a point. It's down 30 seconds, and I'll have to move this back out a little for you, and you can see that we've been in this consolidation, going from high to low to high to low. This time we only got about halfway up, which was the resistance in this area, and it looks like we could break to the downside. This low was 177.16, so 177.5, and right now we're 177.17, so we're right there. And down a point, and if we break, we'd probably be in the 175 area and possibly lower. The issue here is the continuing issuance. Yesterday we had the biggest 2-year note auction at $50 billion, and the price came in tied with the lowest yield at 0.155. Today we have 51 billion of the 5-year, and we'll see how that one goes. And we also have the action in the 10-year, which has gone from about 0.6263 about a week ago to right now being 0.72. So we're creeping back up there. As far as the stock futures, we have the Dow down about 40 earlier this morning. Before those durable goods orders, it was down about twice that. We have the S&P up about 375, so nothing overwhelming there, and we have the NASDAQ up about 25. So it's actually, I take that back. The NASDAQ is up about 36 right now. I did see it this morning up about 65, so it has come off. And I just want to make mention of one thing that I found particularly surprising that a Fed governor would say. But Esther George was on CNBC this morning being interviewed, and while she had a lot to say that made a lot of sense, she closed her comments off by talking about the need to support farmers, or she was going through all of the different industries, transportation and travel, hospitality, etc. And she made a comment about farmers that just absolutely stunned me in its degree of stupidity. And that was that the farmers weren't really hurt so bad. They get their subsidies, and besides that, the value of their land has held up really well. Farmers could care less about the value of the land. There's no way to monetize it. The only way to monetize it is to close down their farm and sell it. So land value really means nothing to them. I was just surprised to hear somebody in that kind of position make a comment like that. That was, so on its face ridiculous. Okay, one last chart I want to show you, and that is the gold, which is down again this morning. It was a little higher actually before and overnight last night, but it is right on my uptrend line. Pull this out a little so you can see it. This is not a great happenstance, and it may touch this 1900 or so and turn back up, but a close down here would probably take us another $25 lower, and I wouldn't like to see that. All right, everyone, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll be back later in the day.